your way of modifying how to paint blew my mind. Can we talk about your little sponge? Is your
I can.
little sponge your best friend?
These are my friends. When I changed my style a little bit, more of a abstract, I just look on my right. I was like, sponges. There it. I can use these freaking sponges.
The MS Positive podcast is a platform where people living with multiple sclerosis come to share everything else they do with their lives aside from being an MS patient. Among our guests are artists, singers, bloggers, actors, authors, DJs, and much more. And yeah, also health professionals because we have to stay in the know. We're more than MS. Today, I have a very special guest. Her name is Eileen Figueroa. She is an artist who owns her own studio in Houston, Texas, after deciding to pursue one of her biggest passions, painting. She was diagnosed with primary progressive multiple sclerosis, but that didn't stop her from fulfilling her dreams. Her pieces depict the traditions and festivities that represent her colorful and vibrant Caribbean heritage. Welcome, Aileen.
Thank you, Maite. I am so excited to be here, and thank you for inviting me to your podcast.
You're welcome. I'm really excited too. We've known each other for a little while now, and I am one of your fans. I really like your work.
Thank you.
In her paintings, Aileen paints, for the most part, images from her Puerto Rican culture, typical images and representing our music and our dances and folklore. And so it's very colorful, and that's why I'm so attracted to it. Not only because it's my own culture, but there's a lot of color, and I love that I'm not afraid of color at all. So it's very attractive to me. Aileen, so the way that I learned about you is because you were featured as the Artist of the Month in September 2022 art showcase of the MSAA. How did you end up in that showcase? What was the process?
Yes, let me give you a little bit of the background how painting came to me. I always been very artistic since I was a little kid, and your parents have this vision of you to become something, right? Something great, and their vision was for me to become a doctor. And yes, you got to be a doctor when you grow up, maybe a surgeon. But in the meantime, I was painting, uh, painting the walls in my bedroom. I remember doing murals in school, joining all the art classes that I can think of. So the ability was there, and I had a high school art instructor that really pushed me forward to discover my talent. So I remember when I was in fourth grade, I entered a contest with high school and then elementary school at the time, and I drew a house, and that was in early '80s, and I draw a house uh, three dimensional where when you see the drawing, you can immerse yourself through the whole house. And guess what? I won the contest, and that was it for me.
And
I
you were in
got
fourth grade, you said, in fourth grade?
fourth grade, yes. So I beat everybody in elementary school and then in high school. So my prize was at the time a bunch of brushes and paintings. And that's where I start. I mean, I start participating in so many activities in school that they will call me to paint a mural for a graduation, or we're having this activity, we want you to draw this. Then I have a very nice handwriting, so I start doing calligraphy. So I will do the high school graduation diplomas in
Diplomas.
calligraphy. Yes, in
Wow.
calligraphy. So that's where I guess, my passion started. Then, of course, you go through life, you go through your university. I did a bachelor's degree in architecture where I was able to design buildings and houses, uh, commercially, end up working with the state of Florida at the time. And but still, I was still drawing so many things. So I did a career change, a major 360 career change, working with the government right now. But painting was in the back. So in about 2015, I decided to start uh, painting again, explore that passion that was, it's always burning in there. So I remember I was going to Puerto Rico. I was in the plane coming back to the United States, and there was a lady sitting next to me. Her name is Renee Phillips. She is the founder and director of Manhattan Arts in New York. So
What a coincidence.
yeah, so she was
Destiny. Was
oh
destiny.
yeah, yeah. So of course we start talking, and then she saw me browsing my phone and my pictures back then, and I was going through my pictures that I took from Puerto Rico to say, oh, what I'm gonna paint right now. So she said, oh my God, you are an artist, and the conversation came in, and I
What
showed
are
her
the
my
odds?
work. Yeah. So she said, I would like to feature you in my uh, in my organization. She leads the Manhattan Arts curator from
Wow.
international artists. I would like to feature you, but you have to, meet all these requirements. When you get back to Houston, I meet with you, and then we go through your website, we go through everything. And my day, in less than a month, I was featured in the Gallery of Manhattan Arts of New York.
Wow. It was meant to
I
be. I mean,
yeah, I had maybe like five paintings at the time, but you know, she then she mentored me. I hired her to mentor me to open up my business. um, 2015 I rented this space, this gallery space, and I started painting. And when you go into a new endeavor, a new project, you do your website, you do all that, check, right? So I did my website. She said, you have a wonderful website, you just need to fix few things. And I put a store on it, and I started painting three kings, the
Three
tradition,
Kings. Yeah.
traditional from
Traditional
Puerto
Three
Rico.
Kings. Yes.
So because in Puerto Rico we can put the kings all year round because it's a tradition. It's not a Christmas or holiday thing. So I started painting three kings, and I sold them in a month. Everybody sold. So I didn't have any inventory. So in 2016, I have to shut down the website, the shop, just to close door, dedicate over a year to paint. And I painting so many kings in different, styles, traditional, contemporary, realistic, and put back my store. And then my clients start coming in. They were more for the Caribbean heritage. I want kings. I want kings. I have seen, your website, your work. Can you paint kings for me? So I painted kings like for 3 years
I want
straight.
kings too. I don't have kings in my house.
So you
What
see,
type of Puerto Rican am I? I want
so
kings. Can I get kings?
yeah. So I developed myself in that passion and everything else. Uh, since I have a day job, during the night I just come here and paint, and on the weekends I'm working in different, projects. And so with, MSAA, I joined them actually in 2022, and they were calling artists to display the work in their website. So of course
Yeah,
you
they
have to
do
go.
that every year. Every year
Yeah,
they call for
yeah,
artists and then they feature them.
yeah. And I think that's when I met you. You saw my work in the website, and then you contacted me to
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. When I saw Puerto Rican, I said, I had to bring her. I have to meet her. I have to bring her to the group. I need to get to know her. And when I saw the work, like I said, to me it's very attractive because it's so colorful. And
Yes,
I think
yes.
you're a great artist. I mean, look at
Thank you.
your art behind you. I mean, I'm just like
But I'll tell you this,
staring at it. It's
I
lovely.
remember
It's lovely.
at the beginning, this is a very big space and it's like 40 feet high. So people were coming in, and I used to take it personal. They will come into my studio. Oh my God, it's too bright.
Oh,
I
really?
hate it, right? And then some people will come
Who
in
are
and then
those
they will
people? I'm
say,
gonna come after them. What's wrong with them?
and then they will
Something
say,
wrong.
and then, yeah, other people will say, I love it. So I remember, talking to my
There's
mentor
nothing
and
wrong
she
with
said, yes,
color.
don't take it personally. It's just art is subjective.
It's your
Art is,
art.
yeah, it's never, art is never ugly. So there's people that's gonna love it, and there's people that is going to hate it. So
Well,
and I
like
like,
with everything
yeah,
else, that's the
yeah,
way. There's
yeah.
gonna be trolls.
Yeah. So actually, I just submitted my work for MSAA for 2024. So I'm waiting for
Look at
them to,
you
yeah, to give
again.
me the okay. Yeah. So
Oh, wonderful! Congratulations.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
really
So
cool.
I let you know when I'm up and running in the website. I
Oh,
guess
I
they,
will now.
yeah.
I
Okay,
will
they
find.
pick a month and then I'll be able to,
I will now.
yes. So yeah, so I'm involved in too many projects sometimes. Like
You're like
I
me,
like
the yes woman, right? You say
the
yes
yes
to every
woman. I
project, and then you don't
volunteer.
have
Yeah,
time.
you don't have time, and
Yeah,
then you forget or something like that. So
yeah, or yeah, that
you.
happens to me all the time. Or you're late for your own podcast because you have too many things going on. Yeah,
Yeah,
that bit me. And we forget that, we live with multiple sclerosis that slows us down. And as much as we want to go fast, because
you can.
listen,
Yes.
people, we have MS, but it's the same brain that stops us from doing things. It's the same brain that tells us, do this, do that, do the other, don't forget. But then the body says, you know what? I ain't working with you. I don't think so. And it's a constant battle. And
Yes.
but our mind
Yes.
is the same, our spirit is the same. It's just
Absolutely.
the body not responding as we would like it to, right? Would you agree with
Fast
me?
enough. Yeah, fast enough. It's like I would like to see this, but okay, there's a little delay. So
This, yeah, yeah, or not right
yeah,
now. Maybe a
yeah,
little later. How about that? And you're like, no, but have a date. Like, I don't care.
yeah.
It doesn't matter. Reschedule it. It makes the calls, unfortunately. So, can you tell us a little bit about your journey? How did it start? What were your first symptoms? How were you diagnosed?
Okay, so I usually do a very quick recap. 2018. That's the year. That's the start year
Of your new
where
life, your
my
second
new
life.
life going forward. So I used to be very active in exercising, lifting weights, and one day I did a handstand on the wall with the head down, and I heard a crack on my spine. So I said I busted something in the spine. So the next day my feet were numb. So and I said, probably a bulging disc,
Pinch
you know,
nerve.
pinch nerve. Went to the doctor, then went to the physical therapist. He said, yeah, we're gonna work this through, but it's gonna take you probably like 3 months to get your sensation back. And then 3 months, 4 months, the numbness was going up and up, up, up,
Getting
up
worse.
to,
It was
yeah,
traveling
to the
up your
way,
body.
traveling all the body. I felt it in the hands, and uh, I told the therapist. He said, "I think there's something really wrong with you." So
You
I
don't want to hear those words.
I recommend you go to a neurologist because of
Okay.
your tingling and numbing and all that. Lo and behold, 2018, like kind of mid year, went to the neurologist. She asked me 3 questions, and I did, she checked, and I said, yeah, I think we have to do an MRI, but don't worry about it. I'll get
You'll be
back to you.
fine.
You'll be
It's just
fine.
it's just protocol.
Yeah, don't Google anything yet, but she didn't mention MS at that point. So when a week later, when the what the thoracic, and I never forget it, the thoracic MRI came in. She said, well, MS. And I was
It's a
like,
possibility? Or did she
what is,
say it's a
yeah.
mess?
She said it's a possibility. It could be transverse myelitis, your stimulation in the nerve, blah, 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 blah. But don't Google anything yet. You're fine. Um, don't worry, we're going to do spinal tap, we're going to do the cervical, and then we're going to do the brain. So everything came together. And then she sat down with me and said, hey,
And she
Eileen,
was serious.
yeah, this is
She said,
MS. And I said, MS, I have heard about MS 150. I used to bike MS 150 in Texas for other friends with the cause, but I didn't know really what it was. So I kind of
yeah, like
felt
the most of us, we've heard the words,
embarrassed. Yeah,
but we don't know the whole scope of it.
yeah. So she said, still, don't Google anything. I will send you the information that you need to know about MS. We need to do more testing. So that took me kind of at the end of 2018, kind of the final diagnosis, going forward, starting treatment. Uh, so I have to modify a few things as far as, career and then painting goes. I have to kind of take it down a notch and slow down a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. It's, comes with the territory. So you
Yeah,
said it was 2018 when you were diagnosed. In 2018, you were featured in the Voyage Houston magazine. Did you know you had multiple sclerosis then?
no, that was at the beginning of the year. So my interview, my feature with them was, oh my art, you're doing all these things. You are so talented. And then, I also did Houston Via Colori, which is, we raise money for kids that need, hearing aids. So we block maybe like 10 streets in downtown Houston, and we assign a space to every artist to chalk paint on the ground, on the street, right?
On the floor.
On the floor. So that was, kind of around the time I'm working with my, getting diagnosed and everything else. And I remember I had two spaces that I needed to chalk paint. And I was having a hard time with my hands. I was like, I don't have the speed that I used to,
And and
you're
probably the fine motor skills were affected at
the
that point,
feeling,
correct?
the feeling. And then I remember holding a chalk, and I was like dropping it. And so I was that, I was very, very unsure, but, in that, feature, I didn't say anything because I wasn't 100% sure, if I could incorporate the diagnosis and, what I'm doing right now. Everything was so new. And I remember we did 2 days. You have to do it in 2 days. And
It was a
it
big
was,
challenge.
no, no, no. That was insane, exhausting. But, I got my,
Exhausting. That's the
yeah,
right word, I believe, right? That I
yeah.
think maybe
It,
this was your first experience with fatigue.
oh, yeah. I think I was, when I finished my test, that was on a Sunday. I felt my body like wire up, like like vibrating all over.
Buzzing. It was
Yeah,
buzzing.
buzzing, buzzing.
Or your nerves were like zzz.
Like,
I hate that.
okay,
We
yeah,
can hear it inside of us. It's actually a thing we can kind of hear.
yeah,
It's like weird.
yeah. I tell people, I say, you're crazy. And I say, really,
No,
it is true. It is
I'm not
real.
crazy. It's a real thing. We can hear it, we can feel it,
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
doesn't stop. And it's there every day, and it
yeah.
goes up and down, like it gets worse. It never goes away. At least in my case, it never subsides. It's just I'm used to living with it, and so sometimes I don't hear it, but it's there. If I'm quiet or relaxing, that's when it lets you know, hey, I'm here. Bzzz. Isn't that annoying? Can you imagine people living with that thing in you? It's like having a freaking demon
Yeah,
inside of you that's bothering you. It's like, picking on you. Like,
yeah,
leave me alone. No, I'm having fun.
yeah. I
Zzz.
use
You know,
it
it's
as a
wild.
reminder. Yeah, I use it as a reminder. When I over excel myself, I get it. So
Hmm.
I say, okay,
It's
I
time.
need, it's time to, to slow down. And so from that point, like mid 2018, I noticed my hands were not 100%. Like, especially, when I hold a brush, it will drop, or I would get tired of painting. It's like, what is this? I mean, why is this happening? And, it comes to a point that I couldn't feel, like, from my fingers up, like
Half of them.
half
The
of them.
ends. You couldn't feel it. You know that
Yeah.
that's because, sorry to interrupt, but
No.
I'm the nerd here.
Yes, you
so,
are.
so the farther away the part of the body is, that's usually why we get the numbness towards the end, like the tip of the fingers or the tip of the toes or the legs, because the distance of that signal to travel from the brain to that area takes longer. And so there's holes. Let's say that there's holes on the road, bumps or whatever,
Bump.
and it slows down as sometimes it reaches to that point too late or it doesn't reach at all. Correct? So that's why maybe the ends were not you were numb, but you could feel the other half of it. It's
Yeah.
this is crazy.
No, no, no. It's insane. And then,
If you
it's and then when I remember when my second MRI, which is the cervical, that's where I have most of my lesions in my cervical, and it related to the hands too. So I was like, oh great, this is just super.
yeah, the cause of all troubles in my body, I have many lesions. Many. That some of them are not even that important. But I have this bad boy right here. He is the cause of all troubles. It's
uh,
big, it's active, it's too big for the area, and it causes every single physical problem that I have. So just one lesion can really take over and put you down. That's it. It could
Put
disable
you
you.
down.
So
Yep. Yeah.
I understand. All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
right. So that's pretty interesting. So you mentioned that that was during the Houston, what do you call it?
Via
Via Colori,
Colori. Hmm.
Via Colori. And it's a fundraiser for as according to my research, fundraiser for the Center of Hearing and
And
Speech.
speech.
And it's a
Hmm.
nonprofit organization, like you said, that helps kids to get their hearing aids.
Hmm. Free of cost.
Um, so that happens every year.
That happened actually. Last year was the last year. After COVID, everything kind of
Oh, COVID.
died
Yeah,
down. Yeah.
COVID.
So we did it last year, kind of in a smaller scale, because people was a little bit hesitant. Of course, I just kind of organized it and assigned the spaces I directed and assisted other artists to complete their, the mural and the space. So I didn't get involved in the needs, just chalking, a whole, I think it was an 10 by 10 feet space where you have to fill it up. And then usually we get the sponsors, and the sponsors are the ones giving the donation to Houston Via Colori, and then they give the money to the Center of Hearing and Speech. And
Okay.
yeah. So it's actually it's like a school for kids with
Oh,
hearing disabilities. So they stay in house and it's paid for them to learn the language and everything else, and then get, top of the line hearing aids.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a sponsored
Yeah, you get
educational
sponsor.
program for
Yep.
them, so they don't get charged. It's like a
Yeah.
kind of a scholarship or
Yeah.
sponsorship, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
that's
So
amazing that you're involved in
yeah,
that.
it's very actually rewarding when when you go and see the kids, and then you take the hearing aids, and we do kind of a ceremony, and very rewarding, very
That's so
rewarding.
cute.
So yeah. So
Wow.
but like we were talking before, I get involved. I volunteer for so many things that, I mean,
You're on my team. You're on my team. Tell me about the International Art Adventure in
yes.
Houston.
So
What is
I met this local. Uh, he's a collector, and then curator. So he came to this building, and he was hired to curate an exhibition in here with the in-house artist. So he saw my work, and he has his own gallery and everything. He said, "Well, I want you to display your work because it's more kind of international. I
because
want you
it's
to be."
great. Right.
I wanted to be, with other international artists in my gallery. So that was a treat because he didn't charge me anything. And he
Whoa.
said, if you sell a painting, I am not going to profit from it. So you can take 100% of your painting value, it's going to be yours. And actually, he's from Dominican Republic. So I was very, comfortable with him. So I came in, and then when I was, preparing my work, putting it on the walls, I met these artists from all over the world, Dubai, mostly from the Middle East.
Wow.
My
So you
day. I mean,
connected.
yes,
Wow.
yes. And then I met this lady from Dubai, and she's connected with the Dubai Prime Minister for the arts and all that. And he
Wow.
came. And so,
What?
yes,
The
he
Prime
came to
Minister of Dubai
for arts,
came?
for performance arts. So he came
Oh,
into Houston, and
wow.
he I got the chance to talk to him, and he said, well, maybe you can come to Dubai one day and, exhibit your
I'm in.
work. And I
I go
said,
with you.
yeah.
When was this? Is this a recent invitation? The invitation is still on the table.
uh,
I
then
have
COVID, it
time.
was everything like after freaking COVID. Then after COVID, it's like try to, go back to normal again. But I mean, and I still, connect with maybe like 10 artists from Turkey, Egypt, Dubai.
That's amazing.
Uh, so it was, I mean, I think that was one of the best experiences and exposure that I had, just to mingle and then kind of know other artists from different regions in the world. Because mostly in the United States, everything is very standard sometimes, the style, or, you
That's
have
interesting.
to, yeah, you have to really look into deep art to, if you go to New York, of course, New York is very international. You're going to see different art.
Different
But mostly
styles.
here, yeah, in Houston, I see everything is very, very standard. So when I open my studio, I'm the only one here still that paints very bright. So I'm known to be, bright colors, vibrant colors. So I'm still on the top. Somebody, hey, I need a painting that is bright. They gave them my name. Okay, Eileen, it is. Just visit Eileen, or she can customize a painting for you. Whatever you want. But she's the only one who paints really, who is bold enough to bold, for example, a red, just to make it so bright. So if you see in the back, you can see that orange in the back. You can see it, from far away.
So you stand out from the crowd because of your color. You see people, those that said that your gallery is too bright, they can kiss your bum.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I quickly went over. There's a lot of information and a lot of projects that you have been involved in. Neighbors exhibitions, Spring Street Artist exhibitions, Sawyer's Yards. What are all these projects? Are How do you do so many things? Like I was looking through them and they're all separate from each other.
Yeah.
So
So when you're a resident artist anywhere, right, in an art community, in a state or in a city, so here we have over maybe 4 or 5 exhibitions throughout the year, where you have to display your work. Okay.
Okay.
So we invite a different curator every time he comes into my studio. He said, well, I like that based on my theme for the exhibition, let's say during holidays. Like we just finished installing a holiday exhibition. So guess what? He picks all my kings. So all my kings are in the gallery, ready to go for sale. And there is each curator that comes in to do a new exhibition has his or her own theme. And then by the theme, we display the work. So I remember there are sometimes that the curator is a little bit more conservative and he or she will pick like blue, relaxing colors. And I don't have anything relaxing, girl. If you see, everything is very dynamic, very pop.
Yes.
And sometimes, so I have to kind of, somebody make a suggestion to me to kind of start painting more kind of on the abstract side where I can play with colors and made it more blend with everybody else. And I said, well, I can do that. That is easy to do, but it's not my thing.
It's not my
You know,
style.
it's not my
This ain't
style.
my
I'm gonna,
thing.
yeah, and I did a couple of paintings and I didn't sell them.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, so I told, the director here and I said, that is not my style. I mean, even though if it doesn't match my bright colors, the general exhibition, it's okay. She said, well, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's a particular style. Don't get offended by it because you have your own, unique style. And over all these years with a lot of criticism, a lot of feedback, I'm it, girl. I am very secure.
Hey,
Yeah, my
of
art
course.
is, yes, is over the top. And
But
I
that's
tell
how
you,
the Caribbean is. The Caribbean is loud. The Caribbean is colorful.
yeah,
And why should you tone that down?
yeah, yeah.
Because
So,
it would not be a real representation.
yeah, and it won't be me. It won't be
And it
me.
won't be you.
Yeah, it won't be
Right.
me. So I say no. I'm not gonna do it. If the curator doesn't want to fit me in, and sometimes that's a little bit, harsh. You kind of, a lot of people take offense of it. I won't be able to participate in this show because my painting doesn't meet the criteria of. But that's fine. I mean, I got over that already. So I can do my, my own exhibition if I want to.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Is it uphill to an uphill road to like make money in the business of artists
yes, it is.
or painting rather
Yes,
it's
it
hard.
is.
Is it hard to make a
Yeah.
living being an
So that's
artist?
why, yes, you have to. I mean, I don't like to use. I saw in our Facebook page the phrase, "and starving artist." It's like you need to take that out. So
Not
because
necessarily. I think that's way too extreme, and it's a little, I don't know, degrading. If you agree
a
with
little
me,
bit degrading.
I don't
That's
agree
it.
with that.
That's the way I took it, and
It's
I
unfair.
immediately,
Being
yeah,
an artist requires a lot of talent. People, no, everybody can paint.
yes, yes. So you have to be over the top. You have to have your own style. You have to promote yourself. You have to be unique. You have to be immersed in the career. Kind of a full time career where you will be engaging in sales. You will be participating in outstate events and everything else. But I tell you this: if a collector likes your work, the collector is going to come back to you and
Of
request
course.
from you.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I like last week, actually a doctor walked in here and she said, I would like you to do that painting for me, but in a smaller scale. And I say, sure. And then she saw another painting and I said, well, could you do that too in the, kind of in a smaller size? And then she said, well, after those two, I probably, want this other painting. So that's somebody that I hook in, a collector that she's gonna be my collector. So and then she said, I follow your website. So it's you have to be dedicated on it. You have to be on top of it because money doesn't come from the sky and I say,
No,
here
no,
you go, you pay one
not at all.
painting and all that. Yeah. So there's times that because of my other career, I don't have a lot of time to either promote myself or you have to have enough work to do that. But
What is
other
your other career? Your other career is?
I work with the federal government, so
Okay.
that's a far. So I'm, a daytime job, as I call it. So yeah. So I am a public servant, so I serve the public.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
One thing that's curious about you and that I was very surprised and I did not forget the first time that I met you and we went over your presentation. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. With MS, we have to modify the way we do things because our hands don't work or feet, we don't feel the feet or legs are weak, whatever it is, or cognitive impairment, whatever. So we try really hard every day to still do the things that we used to do, but we have to modify. And when I saw a presentation, your way of modifying how to paint blew my mind. Can we talk about your little sponge?
Yes.
Is your
I can.
little sponge your best friend?
Yes. Let me. I don't know if I can go and grab it a little bit. So,
Yes, you could.
um, okay. Let me
It's
grab it
okay.
real quick. These are my friends. Uh, so when we were talking, remember when the diagnosis and everything else, my hands kind of became a little bit slower. Everything was very slow. I was dropping the brushes. Uh, with me, I don't know. It's I always being very clumsy. You know, Stumping into stuff, but MS kind of brought it to light where I drop
Highlighted it a
things.
little more.
Yeah. So
It
sometimes I'm
amplified
I'm
it.
I'm holding something and plop, they just go fly. So the same thing with with my paintings, and I told you I was getting tired of paintings of doing this, and I was like, why I'm so exhausted. So when I changed my style a little bit, more of a abstract, I just look on my right. I was like, sponges. Damn it, I can use these freaking sponges. So I have different shapes of, of sponges round, and then I buy mega size sponges, and then I cut them in little square, and I use them as my brush. It is easier for me to go around to make more movement. For some reason, they don't drop out of my hand. Uh, because I have a grip on them and
Yeah,
I
you have a
can
grip.
just
Yeah, but
do this.
it has texture.
Yes. And
Texture.
so I started actually experimenting with them, and I noticed that I can highlight my paintings better
Oh,
with a sponge rather than the brush.
that was
And
gonna be my next question. Do you think it's worse, same, or better now, your
it is
paintings?
100% better because when I am outlining a painting, I just go very quickly. I don't have to, I'm taking a little bit. So with this, you just draw a line, highlight the painting, the shadows of the painting. And I was like, where I have been all these years and
Why
I
didn't I
could not.
find out about this earlier?
Yeah.
I could have painted
So
faster.
super fast. And sometimes I'm rushing into a painting that I have to display. And I can finish it, in 2 days, like in 4 hours. Bam, 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 bam. And, highlight the shadows. The shadow, this is excellent for shadows. And I don't have to spend a lot of time blending, playing with the brush. Where with this, I just do this. Or if I'm going to paint a background, I just
paint it at
painted,
once.
done. Yeah, done in 1 minute.
Wow. Wow. So
And
that was a perk. A perk
a
of
perk.
it's part of the I call it the MS reward programs that none of us sign up for. But there's good perks that come with it. I mean,
Come with
you were
it.
able
Yeah.
to actually improve
Yeah, but let me tell you, I joined the
your
rewards.
skills
Yes,
by
I
using a
joined.
sponge.
Yeah, I joined the perks rewards with the sponges because this is what I buy. So anyway, I did join the rewards program. So because I'm buying a lot of this right now.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah. So that was a crazy transition for me. I you know when something changes drastically, I process it. I try to process it very quickly. And, my other artist friend is like, "Why you are painting? Why are you painting with the sponge?"
Mind your own business.
But anyway, they see what I'm painting and they see, "Wow, did you?" I said, "Well, this is 100% with the sponge." They cannot believe it that I was
I mean,
able
look
to
at your
pull
paintings.
yeah, that I was able to pull, a
Pull that
painting
off. Yeah.
with a sponge. So,
Do you
uh, it,
disclose in your industry that you actually, since they ask you why do you paint with a sponge, do you
yes, yes,
disclose? Are you
yes, of
open about
course.
your diagnosis?
Yes, I'm very open, in my daytime career and in my career, everybody knows about it. I'm very open about it. Uh, so I bring light to it. I have a couple of people visiting with a mess. And, yep, I always, count my blessings because, sometimes it's a little bit, so you see somebody a little bit worse um, than you, and open up your mind and I said, okay, stop complaining, Eileen.
It's not that
Like
bad.
it's not that bad, but I have been able to shed light to them when they come here and they said, how did you painted that? And I said, well, this is how I painted it. And, I said, if you have a little time, I can give you a taste of it. I can show you and then you can paint into. So I gave them a little canvas and then like, wow, I said, yes, you cannot limit yourself because you have a condition, the sky is the limit
Right.
and you
Mm-hmm.
have to work it out. I mean, you work it out,
You
you
make it
find,
work. You make it
you
work.
make it work. And then, I remember, when the diagnosis came in, my doctor always is, no, you gotta move forward, never back, pushing, pushing, pushing. So this is going to be a little fight for you, but I want you to push every day. And, having a creative mind,
It
I
keeps you in
find,
check. It keeps you in
yes,
check.
yes, yeah,
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 because our brain is the one that's mainly compromised with multiple sclerosis. Is the main computer is the central nervous system is the boss basically of your body, and if you don't nurture it, if you don't keep it in check, MS will take over. It's trying every day to shrink it. It's trying every day to deteriorate it. So these things actually they're therapeutic. They help for you to stay active, activate your brain cells, rewiring is primordial, and it's
yeah,
possible. It's
yeah,
possible. You just
yeah.
have to stimulate your brain, and we cannot forget. That's why, even though listen, I struggle with aphasia. A lot of people don't know that because I'm always communicating something, whether I'm writing or whether I am in a blog or whether I am on a video, whatever campaign I'm doing, they don't know what I'm struggling with. But that's why I continue writing, especially the writing helps me a lot because I am so conscious about having to stimulate my brain because it's really, I mean, I compare myself to who I was and it's completely different. But mentally, like my
Mentally, yeah.
my cognitive functions have been affected. So I
Yeah.
don't want it to take over. So
Yes.
I
Yes.
keep stimulating it. So, Aileen, so where can people find your art? Physically in your gallery? Where are we located? Your website?
So I'm in the base in Houston, Texas, in the Sawyer Arts community. That's where the art, we call it the art lives, right?
The art
So
district.
the art district. So I am based in Spring Street Studios, which is in the Sawyer Arts. You can just Google Spring Street
Spring
Studios, and
Street
then
Studios. That's the name of the studio where the
the
gallery is
studio, the
located.
gallery
Spring
of the
Street
building and the
Studio.
studios.
Okay.
Yeah. So once you hit the door, you're gonna see all the artist information, and you can locate me at Studio 135 on the
Ah,
first
that's what the
floor.
number on the website is.
Yeah.
See, I know there was the
So
meaning. Okay.
so also you can find my website www.eileenvibrantart.com. So you can see me in there. And then, if you need to get in touch with me, you can hit the contact information, and then I will get an email, or my phone is there. You can also text me.
Can they
And
purchase through your website or they need to get a hold of you first?
they need to get a hold of me now. Yeah. So almost everything in my website is sold out. So I have few paintings in there. But then, you can inquire about a painting, and then I can get back to you. Yes. Yes.
Cool. And are you in
Yeah.
social media at all?
I
People,
am in
social
social
media, it's
media.
a thing.
Yes, Facebook, Eileen Vibrant Art. That's my Facebook page. And also my contact information is there. And I have more of my recent work in my Facebook page.
Okay.
And yeah. So
Neat. So thank you so much. It's been such a treat. I mean, I enjoy having you here today and love your art. Love it, love it, love it. I
yeah, we
want
got to work
I
on a piece for you. So I told you that before.
thank you. See, these are the perks of
Yeah.
doing this job.
Yeah.
I would love Kings. I would love Kings, but I
Okay.
remember that I don't know why we were talking on the phone. You were showing me that picture behind you, the 3D that's behind you.
Yes.
I remember you were working on that day. We were talking on the phone. I don't know why, but anyways, and that was like it blew my mind. It's that's amazing. So I like that one too. Just take
Okay.
notes.
Okay. Okay. I can customize it.
It's really pretty. I mean,
Yeah.
so thank you for accepting my invitation.
It is a
And
pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
oh, sure, thank you. And I hope to see you soon, honestly. And nothing, we'll stay in touch. So you heard it, you can find her on on her website. Can we go over that website one more time?
Yes,
And
www.eileenvibrantart.com.
if you are local and you're in Houston, she has her gallery at
Spring Street Studios, Sawyer Yard.
perfect.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you next time. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Love you.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too. Bye bye.